So the download finish when I increase the size. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this video to the front to show you that everything is working. But if something doesn't work, like this one did not work, it's called a ACDC. So what I'm gonna do is go to the setting on top. Let me go ahead use the mouse. Now when you're setting this up, it's a good idea to have a mouse, so it's easier to get up there without have to like so you go to managing the table, and this ACDC, for some reason it looked like it download fine, but it doesn't work. Excuse me. Now all the game did complete download, but it tried to download 116, but there's only 100 games that they are supporting. So the previous game, it didn't download, so you get a 0, but it won't show up either on your system. Now the one did show up was this one, and some reason it didn't want to work. So I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to go back the old-fashioned way. Go back to home. Yeah, and then go to my drive, and then I'm going to go ahead and let it download for me without using the fast download. So I'm going to press A, and then press A again, and I'm going to let it download and open the program up. So maybe that way it won't crash. Because that one, for some reason, that's the only one that I know of that it will just crash. Okay, so if you have any game that does that, just go find it and remove it, and then re-download it by doing the old-fashioned way, and hopefully that will fix it. This one should be. Now there's a couple of games that it was part of the download, but apparently did not download. Their server won't let you download. It will just crash. I mean, it will just give you 0. Okay. Now this one, for some reason, I having problem. Yeah, that's the one I do not understand why I having problem. Now, I don't know if I need to reinstall but if I reinstall, I might lose the. I don't know. I'm not sure. But that is one of the game that I tested that actually just dropped. So, but the other games seem to be working fine. So let's go test the other game. I went and downloaded it, but I didn't go all the way down to check. But let's go ahead and check those two, because last time when I did a video, those two did crash. I don't know did I release it or not, but when I was testing it, I let it automatic download, and then I noticed that it didn't work. Okay, so it worked. So I went and download everything. After I freed up all the space, I download all of it, all the table all at one time, and it seemed to be working okay. Now the one did not download, it says 0.0. Those are not, you're not able to download it because I guess they don't support it. So you cannot, even though this license included, but they're not going to let you download it unless you download it from somewhere else and bring it over, like using your old console on your Android tablet, and then copy the folder that need to be in order to play it. So I'm still not familiar with all the Android's different folder. So I guess once I figured out what go where, then I could better understand how to move them around, to make it work. So yeah, this game played pretty well. Alright, I'm just going to let it die, and then we're going to go test another one. Press B, and press A. Yes, I want to exit out. Now, the problem with this game is you cannot exit out until you set up a fixed button with a button mapping. So that's how you get out. Now, I don't know why this will not work, so I guess I could try again. See if it would download it. See if the game will even start. Yeah, that's the only one that I know that having a hiccup problem where it will not work. So yeah, don't know. All right, let's go check the setting and see how much space it take up. So if you watch the video afterward, you could write it down how much space it use up, and then you could compare it on the last video where it talk about the size before we download all this. So let's see. Now I have download like 28 gigabyte of ROM stuff onto the SD card, and so you cannot compare it with the 8 gigabyte because the 8 gigabyte didn't have anything. What did I click? Sound? Meant to click the one below it. Okay, so it went from 28 to 30, so it take about roughly 2 gig, about 2 gig. You could pretty safe it's safe to say that 2 gigabyte of the Pinball Arcade. So when it finished downloading, it's gonna take up 2 gigabyte because it was, I think it was 28 something. It was 44. It was 44%, and now it's 48. So use up 4% of your. I'm putting on the 64 gig SD card. So yes, now this pinball is increased by 64. Now you could use 256. You could use 400 gigabyte or 1 terabyte. It depends on you. Now I just realized something that I didn't know it will. You could put all your APK program on a USB. You don't have to put it on an SD card. You could put it on a USB and plug it in, and it will see the OTG drive. Then you can run all your program from there. You don't have to run your program from internally, because I put all my program inside the internally, and I have a hard time finding it because I put it in the app folder and I cannot find it. APPS folder, and I create a folder called best, and I couldn't find it at all. So I'm just gonna look at that later on my own time. I won't put it on the video, and I will try to install a front end emulator so I could play so the game would look almost like if you was using a hyper spin or using the they call it a EMU. I forgot what that program is, or similar to Raspberry Pi, Motion Blue, or something like that. So I'm going to install a front end, and that front end is called DIG. If you guys want to look it up, DIG. ETA Prime did a good video on the DIG. He actually, that's the video I watched to learn how to do that. So I'll be doing that, and then I would once I get everything going, I'll try to put that video out. But this video is mainly to somebody suggest something, and I went and started doing some research and figured it out. So I'm putting out the video so you guys could watch it at the end of the video to see how I got everything put together to make this happen, to have more space. So hopefully that will help. And if you have any question or anything, let me know. And thank you for watching. All right, so stay tuned for end of the video. It will show you how I got the SD card burned onto the SD card, and then from a 8 gig to a 64 gig, and then I take the SD card to a Linux operating system and increase the size, and it would tell you step by step how I got the USB Linux on my laptop, because it was running Windows 10, and how did I get it to run, and what step I need to do to make it happen, and how I increase the size. So it's a pretty fun experience to have Linux running on your computer, you know, and it's a free software, so you could download it, and then you could experience and learn more about Linux. And that's what I want to do, is learn more about Linux so I could do more things and write more program for it, stuff like that. All right, thank you for watching. Hope this helped you. It surely helped me. All right, talk to you later. Okay, so we are over here at the Android, well actually Raspberry Pi 4 with the Android running. Let's go ahead and look at the space to see how well the space is after. Now I went and copied a lot of stuff into into the SD card because I want to install some different software. But we will do that in the next video because I don't know where I put it. I put it in a different folder and now I can't find it. So we do a separate video. But I just finished this one so you guys know how to resize it. So if you look at the space now on the setting, let's see the storage internal. And this is just showing the application, doesn't show the. So let's get out here. All right, so what I did is I used a browser, you know, like because I couldn't, the file folder, I still couldn't find the stuff. So I went and reinstalled the ES file browser explorer by doing the, because I opened the file and I couldn't really find the program. So I used the browser. And when in the browser, I just search for where's the browser? Right here. I just search for the ESP file, and then once it found it, I just download it. So for example, I just type in the ES file, and then I look for the APK, and then when I found it, I just click on it, download it. Download the latest version. Well, I download it, and then once I finish download it, I just go and install it. And so that was not too bad. So that's how I put that file back here. And then I believe I just go to the file manager. Let me get out here and go to file manager. Because in the image, I delete that file, trying to make more space. So without this EX file explorer, it's really hard to browse around and look for things. So I went in and uninstalled that too at the last things I did. But when I uninstalled it, I kind of regret that I did, because then, you know, I couldn't find a. But let me open that file, show you where the download go to. So let me go back and go back to the. Let me get out this. This is a browser. Okay. So what I did is I went back to file because I don't have the program. Remember, I removed it. So I use the browser to download it, and then after download it, I still need to find the file. Oh, right here, storage. I put it on a 64 gig, and I actually increased the size. So I'm only using 28.19. You might say, well, you only have 8 gig. How do you use 28 gigabyte? Because I download a whole bunch of ROMs like Nintendo DS and Arcade and Neo Geo and Genesis, Turbo 16, PC Engine, and so on. And so I download the ROM because I want to install a front-end emulator. And so I will do that in the next video, showing you guys how I did it, okay, and how I got it to work. So that way I could play pinball plus arcade game. And since now we have so much space, 64 gig, we only use barely even half of the 64 gig. And so the information I show you how to increase the size, all that work, all because one guy mentioned that, hey, you could use GParted from and that's all I need to know, because I don't know which direction to go. So by me sharing information, I got good information feedback. So that's why I say in the community, if we share information, it will help a lot of people, like me helping you guys, and by you guys giving me a good positive feedback, telling me, hey Johnny, why don't you use this in Linux, why don't you use this GParted, GParted, and you were able to resize this. So right after he said that, I realized I need to look for a Linux Mint software to boot from a USB, because I have somebody told me that you could do that. Actually, I have an image, I just don't know where I put it, that could boot up to a USB, where you could run the whole Linux operating system on a USB flash drive. So that's what in the beginning I was showing you all that. So now it proved to you that I did free up the space. So once you free up the space, you actually don't need to do all this. I just want to install different software. That's why I installed that. So after you do that, you could just go ahead and go to your Pinball Arcade now. Okay. Now my Pinball Arcade run well with set up the preference setup. I know I have one YouTube person told me his video is still not good. So what I suggest is, you know, let everything boot up, let it update. If it actually you want to update, go ahead and say yes on not the pinball, but the whatever is installed in the background that is updating. Let it update, plug direct connection to the network, let it update, let it do its thing, and then after that install the Pinball Arcade based on the instruction. I'll put that in the description, show you, tell you how to do it. And then once you finish, you just come here, and then now you could go to the setting, managing your table, and now I only have one, and I'm going to try to download all of them. So I have a 116 game here. Wow, I didn't know there's 116 game. So that's Georgia that just got downloaded. Pinball, which I say Pinball, I think. Black Knight, Funhouse, Shadow. I'm looking at the name when you finish. Taxi, Whirlwind, I guess. Firepower, Table Dribble Time, Tail and Alabama, something Madness, Medieval Madness. There you go. Gopher, Bridge and Princess, Heli Division. Now I know they're not going to give me a Terminator. That's what I'm looking for. This is the best way to know what is downloaded by looking at the name here. So let me zoom in more so you can see the name better. So it's downloaded all those pinball games, and so you should have no issue of getting all the game. I was going to put a different 2 more pinball game in here, but since I cannot find a USB drive, I'm just going to head and do that in the next video. So I'm going to put an emulator on it with the ROM so we could play arcade game, and we're going to see how well this operating system, how does it work. You know, does it work well? Can we play some Android game too? So if you have any suggestion on what game you would like to see tested, or what Android game. Now I'm not really into I mean, I like shooting game, but I'm not very good at you know, a shooting game. But I do play shooting game, flying shooting game, and also fighting game. I like a lot of Neo Geo arcade type of fighting game and stuff like that. And what you call that, Capcom as well. So if you know any game that you want me to test it, we could try it. I know I have 2 games that I really like on Android that I like to see if this machine will work or not. So I might try those. I wish the Street of Rage, they would make one for Android. That'll be cool. They make one for PC. They make one for a lot of different console, but they haven't made one for Android. They made it for PlayStation and Switch. I wish they would make it for Genesis as well. It's like, why not, you know? Alright, so I'm gonna let this finish, and then we could look at it. Now I know that when I recorded, I used a third-party software, and now they're trying to commercial their software because I didn't purchase it. Because I didn't know how to use it yet. I wanted to know if I could use it, merge it. but because I didn't purchase it yet, it was the first time I tried it. So the video is gonna say use the pause something, pause me dot something. So I apologize for that thing showing up in the middle of the screen. It's not meant to be commercial for them. It's just something that I was trying to see if I could pause the screen so I don't have to merge the video together, you know, just pause it and then start recording and pause it. I wish iPhone had that feature built in, because apparently my old iPhone 6 doesn't have that, and so I cannot record and pause it. So I was trying to use the software, but before I purchase it, I want to know how to use it. But apparently that company, your first try is your first deal. So if you don't want to purchase it, you're gonna have to commercial my stuff. So that's why that little things in the middle showing the people that. But this time at the end I did not have it because I'm using regular recording from iPhone. So we're gonna just let it go. We're not gonna sit here watch the whole thing, but I'm gonna let it go, and then we're going to see the file, see if they all download good or not. Are they all 100%, or are they zero? Are they, you know, are they download all good? It should be all downloaded all good because I got enough space, you know. And a while ago we looked at it, we was at 28 point something in space. So we could see, once it finished, we could check to see how much more space it took up by using this program. How much space does it actually use, you know. We could compare the size and percentage. Accidentally, this is how I destroy my hard drive, is because I didn't double check it, and then when I burn it, I kill. So the two programs that you need to download this one and the other one to able to make it work. Okay, but let me get out here. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for my my pinball image, and I got so many versions that I back up, because if I did something and I have to start all over again, at least I could start from the middle instead of from the beginning. So let me see, I think this is the right one. So this is a 8 GB. It's a Pi 4 and a Pi 4, okay. And this one have the Zen Pinball and Arcade Pinball. And based on the date, that is the latest one, 10:30, and that one is 1 AM. Let me sort by date. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna burn this one into my 64 gig, and then I'm gonna increase the size, and then later I'm gonna see if I could put more stuff on it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write. Now if you want to back up your SD card, you do the read. Okay, you type in the name .img, and then you say read from SD card. So that's how you back it up. To write it, you go get the image, you just browse the image. The same thing, like they're both the same way. You either read or you write. Okay, so if you read from the K drive, you need to type the name.img plus where you're gonna put it. And after you write it, you want to, after you finish making backup copy of your SD card, you want to write it to a bigger SD card. You just grab that same image, and then you say, okay, I want to write it to a 64 gig SD card. And then the image will be put it on a 64 GB. Then we're going to use a GParted to increase the size. So then we have more space. Then we could go back and download all the Pinball Arcade table. And then we're going to try to install like the William Pinball and the Zachary, whatever you call it, pinball. And those are the two more pinball that was very popular to the pinball for Android. And then I would like to put some emulator, you know, some emulator and some other software on it, so I could use my joystick and play my other games, you know, arcade games other than pinball, you know. So that would be pretty cool to do that. So I'm gonna show you, once this image is done, I'm gonna show you what I learned and share that with you, so you guys could do this, you know, yourself. So right now this is burning it. So let me quickly show you how I get my USB flash drive to work. Now I tested, I didn't back up anything on my C drive. I was a little bit worried that, okay, am I going to damage it? So I didn't back up anything, and luckily my window came back up, no problem. Okay, I'm using HP window from HP company. So, and I'm running Win32 right now to write the image. And what I did is I went to the browser, and I'll give you the link of the video that I watched, so you could go to their website and do the same thing. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let me go to what I did is I do a Google search, because the guy who told me to did not show me where to download this. So it's a LineageMint.com. Okay, so it's LineageMint.com, and then from here you just click on their main website, and I should have clicked on download, correct? Yeah, let's click on download, and then you just scroll down. Let me see, get my mouse going. And what I did is I choose a cinema. They recommend it because they say if you're not sure which one, then pick the cinema, because that is the most popular one. Then you just click on it, and it's a 1.9 gig. This is the latest version, 20.1, and it's called Resize, whatever, 64-bit. And my computer is a 64-bit operating system, so I'm going to use that. Then I click the torrents, and then it's going to ask you, it's going to automatically download my torrents into my computer. See that? And that's where when I first started we were on this screen. And so I started this program, and then I told it to download it and complete it very fast. So I just say, show me, open the destination folder, and it's right there. Okay, so that then once I get that image, I don't use the Win32 to burn it. I run this program called Refusion. Okay, and I'll put that in the description where to get that one as well. So you just let me see if I have a text file. Let's show you where to get it. No, that's not the text file. Do I have a text file? No, I put it on another computer. So I guess I didn't save it. So you just run that program, and you say, yes, I wanted to install it. So you say yes. And then it will install the program. And once the program is installed, you just tell it. Now here is a little bit different than the video I saw. It say you have a 64 gig, which is correct, and then it says select your image. So you just say, okay, get this image from this location. I just download this one. So it found it. So I'm just click on it and click open. And then it say I just keep everything the default, like you need to be the, you know, in MBR, and I'm using the BIOS, so that's given, and I'm using the FAT32. I did not change that. I just click, like, go ahead and click start. All right, and then it will just start burning onto the SD card, and that's it, and then finish. Okay, and I'm going to show you how did I boot up. I have to press escape for HP. Now I think if you are using Acer, you have to press F8. 8 is number 8. And I just press F9, not F9, escape, and then once you press escape, then you press F9, and then the F9 will, you say I want to boot from my scan disk USB 3.0. Now the video, when I was watching the video, they recommend using USB 3.0, so that way your Linux will run faster. So they recommend using that instead. So once it's finished image finished booting up, I'm going to boot it up from a USB flash drive, and then from there I'm going to so let me show you what is my USB flash drive look like. Okay, I used to have a label on top, so I peeled it off because I'm not using it for I need to clean that up. I use it for the, what do you call it, Neo Geo arcade stick. Actually I use it for Neo Geo Mini in the beginning, like two years ago, and I have two of them. One of them I use as a backup in case I mess it up, and then one of them I use for, you know, continue changing, fixing. Here it goes, almost off. All right, the image is finished burning, so we're gonna go ahead and cancel everything and then boot up from the USB. So so the SD card image is burned, and we're gonna have a lot of space. I prefer having using at least 64 gig and maybe higher, but I should have used more, because I like to download a lot of games and from Androids have a lot of cool games, but 64 is good enough to put. Yeah, 64 is good enough. Well, actually I want to be 128, but I'll do this again on my own time, since I already burned it on the 64 gig. So I'm just gonna close it out, and then I'm just going to shut down. Okay, you have to do a power shutdown. Okay, and once the computer finishes shutting down, you want to unplug your other hard drive, and I'm just going to leave the mouse plug in. Okay, this is the USB I'm using. Let's see if it can focus. It just focused and then went blurry. It's a 128 gigabyte, which is overkill. You only need like 4 gigabyte or smaller for USB flash drive. Oh, upside down. This one is a 128 gigabyte 3.0 SanDisk. Okay, SanDisk Ultra USB 3.0 128, and it looks like this. I don't really recommend using this one, but because it always overheat. This thing get very hot, and then when it get too hot when you touch it get very hot, and it's not good because it will malfunctioning. And so I don't recommend this one, but since I have this laying around, you know, the purpose is just to partition my my image from an 8 gig to a bigger image of the OS. So yeah, now it's better. So I'm just going to put this into my computer, my laptop. Squeeze it in. It's hard to squeeze it because the mouse is too wide, and then this is both wide. Hardly put it in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on right here. Turn it on. Then I'm going to press escape. See what I'm doing. And at the bottom of the screen is going to say escape pause to start up. So I'm pressing escape, so then the screen will come up like this. Okay, then you say what you want to do. So I'm going to press F9. Say F9 to boot the device option. So right here I'm going to press where's my F9? F6, F7, F9, right there. F9. So I'm going to press F9. Am I pressing F9? No, I'm pressing F8, sorry. F9. And then it's going to come here and it's going to see it. Now if it doesn't see it, that means you have problem with your USB drive. So I'm going to go to USB, boot to USB hard drive. So I'm going to press enter. Alright, so it's asking you what you want to do. You want to start Linux 64-bit, or you want I just picked the first one. Okay, I just picked the first one. Start Linux Mint 2.01 Cinnamon 64 compatible mode, or OEM install or manufacturing. I just picked the first one. Okay, the first one is the one that I use that do not really do anything or damage anything. So my hard drive still boot up to Windows when I shut it down. When you shut it down, it's going to ask you please remove the media before press enter. So you remove your USB flash drive and then you press enter, and then your computer should come up. Now do this on your own risk, because I can't guarantee that every computer is the same. I don't know if it's going to damage your system or not, but okay. So I have a 64-bit plugin as well. So now it's seeing my Venter, and this normally come up, but this came from USB. Now the Pinball Arcade, it will have Venter, user data, boot, and root drive. So you got a root drive, boot, and all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, nicely 4 partition, which I don't really care for. So what I'm going to do is down here, I'm going to let me see. I'm going to select that and see if I could find the G partition. Now, since I can't see the G partition, I'm just going to go up here and type GP, and then right there, GP partition, and that's the one I want. Okay, so I'm going to click on GP partition, and then I'm going to resize my partition. Now it's seeing the Linux operating system, the USB drive. See, I got all this free space, but that's not the one I want to change. So I need to change it to my yeah, those are the 3 partitions. I don't want to change the size of that, so I'm going to go ahead and click add. Let me see, device. Okay, here's my device. This is the one. The Linux look at it as a SDC. Now yours might be different. It depends how your system is recognized it. But the guy who did this told me that's how he did it. He used Linux, and he used the G partition, and the rest of them I just figured out myself. I figured out how to do all this by myself in the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago by watching other people's video. So I just do a Google search on YouTube. How do you download Linux onto your USB and all that stuff? Okay. So what I'm going to do is all this space, 50 gigabyte, is not being used. Okay. And I wanted to use the space. Now I really don't like the idea that the color is not matching with what is here. So I'm going to click on it, and there you go. That is the user data. So I want to increase the user data from a 5 gig to a bigger space, and that's what it's showing. It's showing that it's only have 5 gig to install your software. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that. I'm going to resize it. Let's see how we do this. Actually, I haven't watched the video how to do this. Okay, resize it. So I'm going to resize it. Good, I'm figuring out things as I go. I want to increase it all the way up. Now I want to give some partition for the other stuff. I'm not sure by I'm not sure do I need to increase the size for the Venter. So I'm going to give it how big do I want this? From a 4 gig to 48 gig. Let's cancel this for now. I want to see if I could resize. No, so I got 50.2. I have one is called oh, okay, the Venter is using a, what is Venter at? Okay, Venter is right there. And what's this one? This one is something else. See, I want to give a little bit of everything because I don't know what those things does. I did text the guy, say, do I need to increase the size for the other two? But they all ex4 extension. So I don't know, do I need to do that one? I don't know, do I need to increase? Okay, this is a partition 1.5 is for the oh, that one is just a boot up what you call it, FAT32. Yeah, that one I don't think I need to increase that, because that one is a 1.5 and this one is a 2.6. Yeah, I'm just going to do the last one like he suggested. I don't think I need to do the other one. So what I do is I click on the arrow key and then I'm just going to drag it all the way across, and then I'm just going to say resize. That's it. Now what? What's the check mean? Apply all option. Alright. Are you sure you want to apply the pending operation? Addition partition has been put. Blah blah blah. You lose. Yeah. Okay, apply. Alright, so I just changed the image from an 8 gig to a 64 gig. Depending on your number of type of operation, this might take a long time. Save detail. Show save detail. Okay, close. It's already done. It doesn't take that long. So I have a 55.95 gigabytes. So now we could pop this into the Raspberry Pi and then we could see, does it actually work? I think it finished. Nothing is going on here. Alright, so I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to go down here. Oh, so what I did is I click here and then I type in the search command. You know, search command to get the program. So now I'm just going to click on power. And then I'm going to click on, where is it? Oh, right here. Sorry, the glare. So I'm going to do a shutdown. Okay, is it shutting down? Yes, okay. So the system is shutting down, and at the bottom it's going to say, please remove install media and press enter. Okay, unplug the media, please remove the install media, okay. Alright, so you want me to unplug the, I'm going to go ahead and unplug my, I'm going to go ahead and unplug my mouse. I unplug my USB, unplug this button, and the system just went power off. Then I'm going to turn the power on, and then we could see if the window come up, so everybody will feel comfortable about that. So I'm going to take this USB card and we're going to go ahead and plug it into Raspberry Pi 4B 8 gigabyte. I have an 8 gigabyte on mine, because if you have 4 gigabyte, just use it for, you know, Raspberry Pi Arcade Punk game playing. I use the 8 gigabyte, well, because I didn't want to buy another 4 gigabyte, because when I first bought the 4 gigabyte Raspberry Pi 4, that was the only thing it came out, and then a couple of months later it came out with 8 gigabyte, and I wasn't sure to buy the 8 gigabyte because it went from a $55 to $75. It's $25 more, and so I bought the Raspberry Pi. Okay, it's powering up. It takes a long time to power up, and then I bought the 8 gigabyte. And I have a video to tell you how could you tell between a Pi 1, 2, 3, Pi 4 for 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, and 4 gigabyte. Okay, the 8 gigabyte and 4 gigabyte totally different in design. So, okay, so the window come up. This is Windows. So let me see if I could log in. It's a touchscreen program. It's a touch. Oh, but. Let me press. It's hard to do it with one hand. So there you go. Okay, there's my name. So I'm gonna go ahead and type it in. And just to prove to you that the window come up just fine, my USB Linux is boot up over here, and here is my 64 gig. So we are going to see this window. Okay, so everything's back to normal. Everything before I boot to USB flash drive. Now, since I already showed you how to do that, yeah, I guess you don't have to look at other people's video. You just do what I just did. It's just that I didn't repeat it because I already formatted. There's no need to write it, the image to here. Then you guys have to wait for it, you know, for me to write it. So let's go to the Raspberry Pi and check it out. See if we could download all the Pinball Arcade. Okay, I'm over here in another computer. I just went and Google search and just download Zakala or something of that nature, of that name, and I download it so that I could later transfer it to my 64 gigabyte. And I also wanted to transfer the other stuff over. So what I did is I did a Google search, and I typed the ZACC. I didn't know how to spell it, so I typed ZACC, and then it found it. So that the exact name is called Zaccaria. I pronounce it as a K. Zaccaria. Zaccaria. If I pronounce it wrong, please apologize my English. Pinball APK Unlock. So I searched for that and I found this one. So I went in and click on it, and then I download it. So that's where I got this one. And sometimes it will not work. So what I recommend is you want to go ahead and get this program. You could search for APTRO. And I guess that's what I think. I didn't use that one. I used the one called the latest one. And then I'm going to put the EX file manager. I'm going to install that one back. And yeah, this pinball is for the. I was trying to look for the table for the Terminator, but that's for Windows. And it said that you have to install called Happy Mode, and then it will install. You could download the Terminator. I don't know if that is true or not. I'm really not sure. I need to Google it and find out what the program is this. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one over. Okay, the one I installed, I believe, is this one. But I have to install 2 versions to get this to work. So this one is still downloading. It's not finished yet. So once it's finished, I'm gonna go ahead and copy and put it onto my USB. So I'm gonna go ahead and open 2 windows so you can see I'm doing it with one hand, so one hand is holding it. I didn't use a tripod. I'll use a tripod when we go to the Pi 4. So let me go ahead and open another file manager to my USB. Yeah, I think it's this one. I think it's the L drive. Okay, I did a search about the Happy Mode version that on Android, and they even have it for the Android. I mean, not Android, Apple, for iPhone. So ISO. So I guess this is pretty good. I mean, it's a software that allows you to download other games on your system. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that to my flash drive as well. And then let me move this so I can minimize that. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy all this thing that I say the best Android software to have. And then I also have instruction how to no, that's not the instruction, that's the link. Where's my instruction? I want to save it. How to install the Pinball Arcade onto your system. So here's the instruction, how I just type it out. So that's how I got the Pinball Arcade modded software installed. First I installed this program called the APTROID, and then you download the pinball. So you search for this and you download that. Then once it's asking for allowing setting for the internal drive, you say go ahead and allow it, and then once it's back to clicking on install, you go back to your file browser, and then you look for this file, which is right here. Oh, excuse me, it's not there. Then you click on it, and then you install it from there. So you want to install the modded one. So this modded one will give you that fully loaded pinball games. Okay. So anyway, I'm trying to get all the link. This one I really do not have luck of getting anywhere with this, so I don't really. So I'm gonna go to my drive, and I have a special software. It's actually called the Linux File System for Windows by Penguin Software. This software will actually map your unit, either your Raspberry Pi or Linux. It mapped all those drivers for me, and let me see if I could open that and show you what it looked like. So it took my SD card and mapped the M drive, the vendor, and the user data, which now is 55.9 gigabyte, and then I could actually see it on my computer. So I'm just going to copy those file into my old drive, and I guess I'm just going to put it in the app folder so I could find it easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste those files that I just download from by doing a Google search. So right now it is creating a folder called best. I decided to grab the folder called best so I won't mess up with the rest of the other stuff. So you have its own folder called best, and is transferring all those files over to my SD card, the one that had 55 gigabyte. So it's transferring the file over, and then once it's finished, we're going to pop it in, and then we're going to install the rest of the Pinball Arcade, see if we could get the rest of the arcade pinball to work and make this officially all Pinball Arcade system. So let's move on with this. Now this image I will not be distribute it to you. This is only for educational use and advice of warning. If something go wrong or you damage it, you are doing it on your own risk. And if you increase the processor CPU speed to 2000 megahertz, and if it causes a problem with your Pi or burn up or something, those are all on your own risk. So just give you that information, even though I have been doing it and haven't this is actually new. I haven't been doing this quite a long time. This is something new that I'm learning. I'm sharing this information with y'all, and so you guys could do the same thing like I'm doing. But everything is in public. You could do Google search. You could find everything you want on Google search engine. Is a beautiful, wonderful software, and you could find it, and you could download pretty much anything you want on the search engine from Google company. So yes, you could do all this yourself. It just, you know, like people tell me, hey, you could change the size by using this GParted from Linux. Then right away, he didn't give me any more further instruction how to do it, because nobody want to sit there and show you step by step how to do it, correct? But I'm a person, if I figure it out, I might as well write it down, do a video. That way you know, I know. In the future, if somebody asks, I say, hey, just go look at that video, because I already recorded the video how to do it, so you know how to do it. And if I forget, I could go back and refer to my own video and teach me how to do this. So I know in the future I definitely will need to use Linux, because Linux is the one you could use to open up the Neo Geo arcade stick and look at the partition, the software, and all that stuff in using Linux operating system. And you could actually compile everything, even RetroArch, you know, using the Linux operating system. So all that is wonderful and nice to know and to have. So I'm going to minimize that software that I mentioned to you, and let me see if everything finished transferring over. So it's almost finished. So we're going to let it run, and then when it finishes, it's a lot of file, and the file is very big. So without increasing the size, you really don't have any luck of transferring the file over and running it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it run, and then I'll come back and do the rest and see how it goes. I got good news. When I was looking at it, I just realized I do have a Terminator 2. I think maybe it's because based on my login command, because I went to log in and then I re-download the stuff that wasn't working, and then I went back and looked at it, and I thought all the Williams game would not show up, but turn out Terminator 2 is right here. So let's keep our finger crossed, see if it work. All right, Terminator 2. I haven't seen that for a long time, so I'm surprised to even see it on this download. So let's see if it work. Yes, 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 it work. So Terminator 2 does work, you guys. Just let you know. All right. So I do have a license on this, you know, on my what you call it, on my iPad version, and my Android, my old Android version. But the new Android 10, I haven't seen it since I got my Samsung tablet. Why am I playing so bad? I think there's something under my game system is making it slide left and right. Yeah, I think there's maybe my string is underneath it. Oh, I got a piece of wire underneath. It's making my game slide everywhere. I apologize. Yeah, this thing will boot up from SSD, the Pi 4. I have download a 512 image, Raspberry Pi 4 by I forgot his name. I did have a video on it, but I haven't put it out there. How to burn it, how to put it together, and how to boot up, how to make it work where you actually boot up from a SSD. So yes, those people who love Terminator 2, it's here. Now I noticed the Steam 1, 2, and 3, STERN, is that how you pronounce it? Steam 1, 2, and 3. Those did not download well. Actually, it download it, but it says 00. Now I'm surprised that this thing only say 100, but I cannot find it. Let me show you where I found it. Okay. If you play it based on alphabet order, you will not able to find it. Okay, so what I did is I went from alphabet to my tablet. I went from alphabet to my tablet. That's when I see the Terminator. So if you go to the top and you do the how do I get to the top? Okay, I'm on top. I just press B. Okay, so if you're on top and you press A, okay, so up here. So if you view by my table, you will see Terminator. But if you go by alphabet order, okay, and then you scroll down to where there's T, you won't see the Terminator for some reason. I got the mouse. Whenever you put the mouse in here, it only messed up with this system. I don't know why, but it doesn't. Yeah, you see. Okay, I'm back on the. So A to F and then G. So let's go to T. Okay, R S T. Now, when you're here, you won't see no Terminator here. So if you look through it, there's S, there's T, Texas something, text. Oh, there is Terminator. So my bad. I guess you could see it either way. It just the Terminator used to be the character used to be bigger, and I didn't see it. So yeah, you do have Terminator 2. I've been in the video. I'd say, man, I wish my Terminator 2 would be back, because yeah, he's back. So that's good. That's one of my favorite games that I like to play. Now I went and re-downloaded that first one. I don't really play that one, but it just bothered me that the first one do not work. So I went and re-download it. Let's see if it worked after I re-download it. Yeah, it just kicked me out. So that's the only one. I apologize, I couldn't get it to work. But yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the video and you will see the rest of the game. But I just want to bring that up. I just noticed it, and I don't want to, I don't want to just send the video out without telling you that. So I want to go ahead and put this part of the video to let you see it. All right, later.